This video is brought to you by Hexbound.com from HitPoint Press, a witchy supplement for 5e. Skillshare, the online learning community for curious and creative people. And by the Roll for Combat Actual Play podcast and their 3-ring adventure series. Hello and welcome back to The Gallant Goblin. Today I'm looking forward to showing you the next minion box in the Epic Encounters line. This is Village of the Goblin Chief. Many thanks to Steamforged Games for sending it to us to review. You know I love goblins. I eat up all the goblin content I can find, like a gobbo eats up pickles. And this box gives us lots of unique goblin minis, plus maps and an adventure and guidebook. So this is RPG night in a box. You just need this and some dice or a smart device, and the D&D 5e rules that you already know. With that, you have all you need to make some memories. So, okay, I can't wait anymore. Let's open this box up and see exactly what's inside. Opening our box up here, we have the Encounter and Rulebook, a double-sided map, and 20 unpainted plastic goblin-based miniatures. Let's start by looking at those. These goblins are of the Bloodwood tribe. We'll start with the 6 basic Bloodwood goblins. 3 come armed with a scimitar and 3 with a short bow. As you might imagine, the design of the goblin is closer to the classic D&D look than to the very distinctive Pathfinder one. This particular goblin tribe is dipping into areas that goblins don't typically go, such as brewing poisons, corrupting the land, and experimenting with wildlife and the arcane. The stat blocks for each of these minis is in the included book. Our Bloodwood Goblin stat block is identical to the 5e Goblin stat block in the basic rules. They have a CR of 1/4. Next, we have 4 Bloodwood Goblin Frog Chewers. So, the thing about chewing tree frogs is that they often have poisonous skin. These drugged-out gobbos have a higher AC and are numb to most forms of pain, meaning in mechanical terms that they take half damage from most attacks. They've adapted themselves to the poison to such a degree that their constitution score has risen by 6. Their weapon of choice is the spear. They retain the 1/4 challenge rating. Here we have 4 Blood Dart Goblin Enforcers. The Goblin Chief here, or Hetman as he's called, has enchanted these chosen goblins, making them tougher and angrier. They are more accurate in their attacks and can swing twice per turn, on top of having better overall stats and hit points. They also have a version of Orc Ferocity, or the Barbarian's Relentless Rage, meaning that when they've been brought down to 0 hit points for the first time, they keep on fighting. All this adds up to a CR of 2. Next are the 4 Bloodwood Goblins mounted on arrow-tongue tree frogs. The frogs themselves get a stat block that's identical to the giant frog stat block from the basic rules. The goblins aren't removable from the frogs, but you do get 2 varieties, 2 scimitar-wielding goblins and 2 short bow-wielding goblins. The tree frogs have a CR of 1/4. Then we have the Bloodwood Goblin Hetman, hiding behind his wooden mask, which improves his saving throws. He also has some resistance to magic, making some spells bounce back on their caster, and can cast a few spells of his own, or just attack with his nasty bone axe. He has a CR of 4. And finally, I know how much you're going to like this, we have our Green Fang Flail Snail. He does share the same stat block as the Flail Snail from Volo's Guide, including the anti-magic shield and the flail tentacles that can be severed lest each of them strike you on its turn. And, of course, his shell can emit a scintillating light that dazzles and stuns foes. He has a CR of 3. Here's how he looks next to the WizKids Flail Snail Mini, which was a rare in the Fangs and Talons set. And here we can see some of the Epic Encounter goblins next to some goblin minis from the Icons of the Realms line of D&D pre-painted figures, and from Pathfinder Battles, also by WizKids. Goblins come from all different clans, and there's no reason there can't be varying looks to your goblins depending on where they hail from, so feel free to use these interchangeably in your games. I do. The double-sided map is 16 by 23 inches and printed on nice folded paper stock. It should lie flat enough with just the minis, but you can prep it ahead of time with a couple of heavy books to make it lay more flat. Another trick is to have a sheet of plexiglass to place over your maps. That makes them very flat, plus you can then write on them with a wet erase marker. And you can get an acrylic sheet with a grid printed on it if you like. Our map here features a treetop village on one side. This village is composed of 4 huts in the trees with unsteady walkways connecting them. One hut has some basins of water where the goblins spawn the poisonous frogs that they like to eat. The opposite side of the map has the Hetman's Hollow, which is inside one of the massive trees of the forest. The goblins hollowed out this sanctuary for their leader to safely practice his dangerously unstable elemental magic. This map features a range of elevations from the outside to the inside, like a reverse ziggurat. You've also got some dangerous mushrooms, a well, an armory where they make weapons out of that flail snail's shell, say that 3 times fast, and the snail's pen. Finally, in the center, we have a summoning circle where the Hetman is at his most powerful. The circle not only increases the Hetman's power, but also makes him more difficult for the heroes to reach. These are pretty unique and beautiful maps. I think they would work for an encounter featuring wood elves, fey creatures, or any dangerous caster needing a hidden base of operations. I'm all about reusing maps and tokens and minis in as many ways as you can. You can even design entire encounters and adventures around these props. And that's what's so cool about these adventure books. They give you not only a story to tell and an adventure to run, but show you how to incorporate neat little mechanical effects into your games to reflect the environment as shown on the map here. For example, the unsteady little walkway here, the characters run the risk of stepping on a rotten log and falling through the walkways to the ground below, all depending on how much weight they're carrying. The rules I give you here can be reused in the future the next time your party crosses that old rope bridge across a cavern, for example. Now, let's talk about the rest of the book. Just like all the Epic Encounter books, this one can be tailored to different tiers of play by following their instructions in the beginning of the book. The goblins in this adventure, unlike our friendly mascot, are irredeemably malicious, cruel, and greedy. Together with a nearby Hydra, they're corrupting the land and taking what they need with sadistic cruelty. The book gives you some optional wrinkles you can throw in to spice up your adventure. Just a few examples. The goblins may be stealing children from a nearby village and raising them as goblins. Or the Goblin Hetman has begun some experimentation into poisons and elemental magic. Or the Hetman really isn't what he appears to be. He wears that mask at all times. What is he hiding? As always, you can get various story hooks to get your adventure started, which is great because you may not want to run this as a one-off adventure. This can be slotted into your ongoing campaign, so you can get mission starters from arcane benefactors, or from unsettled townsfolk, or forest-dwelling folks, or even traveling merchants, so you shouldn't have trouble tying this into your own world and stories. And then the storybook guides you through each of the various locations on the map as your characters invade the treetop village to gain access to the Hetman's secret chambers inside the trunk of that tree. Each section features unique terrain effects or special enemy tactics to keep the adventure interesting and not your standard dungeon crawl. I'm not going to spoil anything else for you here, but the adventure itself is 23 pages long, not counting all the pages with enemy stat blocks and credits. So this is a nice, hefty adventure that should take you probably more than one session to complete if you don't rush through it. This is another awesome box from the team that brought you Shrine of the Kobold Queen, Lair of the Red Dragon, Hall of the Orc King, and Caverns of the Frost Giant. If you're interested in our reviews of those boxes, check the links in the video description down below. And this set leads right into the big Hydra fight in Swamp of the Hydra, which we'll be reviewing here soon. Village of the Goblin Chief is available now for an MSRP of $49.95, though you can find it a bit cheaper if you shop around. You can learn more at steamforged.com, and you should be able to get it in your game store of choice. If you have any questions about it, please let me know in the comment section down below. Let me thank our sponsors for this video, starting with Hexbound by Hit Point Press. Hexbound is our new Kickstarter offering you a book featuring new witch-based content for 5e. For Game Masters, you get new ready-to-run fully illustrated adventures, magical items, new creatures, and more. And players get access to witch-themed subclasses, new spells, familiars, and backgrounds. And Hexbound has something new as well, the Arcane Eye app, to help you organize and implement the content in the supplement right on your smart device. If you're interested, use the link in the eye in the corner of your screen now or down in the video description below to learn more, and back if you like what you see. Using that link lets them know that you learned about them from us here at the Gallant Goblin, which helps keep our cameras rolling. That's Hexbound by Hit Point Press. And we want to thank Skillshare, the online learning community for curious and creative people. Lately, I've been rewarding myself at the end of the workday with a few lessons from Skillshare. If you're interested in learning new skills or improving current ones, Skillshare is for you. As you may know, I just moved into this new space here, and decorating isn't really in my skill set, so I've been enjoying a class called Interior Decorate Like a Boss by Rose Stanek. She's been showing me how to choose colors, arrange furniture, set up lighting, and design each room and hallway in my house, all while a cute cat sits on the couch behind her. You might like their classes on creative writing, world building, character development, photography, graphic design, filmmaking, productivity, or even cooking. The classes are curated specifically for learning, so there's no ads, and new premium classes are launching all the time. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual membership. The first 1,000 folks who use the link in the video description down below will get a free trial of the Skillshare Premium membership, and like Hexbound, using that link lets them know that we sent you. We also want to thank our friends at the Roll for Combat Actual Play podcast and their 3 Ring Adventure series. We talked here about the Epic Encounter series can help improve your mastery skills, your game mastery skills, and the Roll for Combat series can do that as well. Not only does each episode let you see how a veteran game master like Mr. Stephen Glicker adapts and runs a pre-written adventure path, but he often has a little intro where he discusses how you can improve your own storytelling and game running skills. On a recent episode of the Agents of Edgewatch, he talked about how players playing rogues can feel underutilized depending on if an adventure was written with rogues in mind, and what you can do to enhance their experience if the adventure seems to be neglecting their unique skill set. Each episode gives you a fun adventure and lessons like that on improving your games and your experiences. Check out the 3 Ring Adventure series, which is a playthrough of the Pathfinder 2e Extinction Curse Adventure Path, and all their other series over on rollforcombat.com. And thank you for watching today. We're keeping the train running here with lots of videos lined up for this month, as you've been able to see for the last week or so. Be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss anything. Hitting that little bell icon below will let you get a little notification when we release a new video, because sometimes we want to show you a new product as quickly as possible, and a video might drop when you least expect it. And if you enjoyed a video, kindly leave us a like. You can join us on Discord at the link in the video description below to chat, or over on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. I hope you're staying safe out there. Have fun, love each other, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.